Welcome back to the HGC. We are getting ready for our second series of the day, our final one for the weekend before we go into hibernation for the week. My name is Trixer over here. We got Caldor, and we're getting ready for the big match.
I thought the big match was the previous one, but yeah, this is also going to be a good one. Diamond Skin coming off a victory against Team Liquid, and now they're going up against Fnatic.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go ahead and check out the standings here and see where the teams currently are. Fnatic has seemed to unveiled Angry Fnatic as they had a dominant win yesterday as they faced off against their opponents Trick Esports. So they are now 3-1 and in second place. They have a chance here to extend that lead. However, we can't quite count Diamond Skin out with a surprise performance last week. You can tell that they're here to compete.
Yeah, so Diamond Skin definitely in a spot where a few points and even just map wins would do them really well. Fnatic, of course, as he said, they showed up in strength already this weekend. But yeah, the situation is starting to get closer and closer now in Europe, especially with the win that Method just got over Team Liquid. They're now tied in the standings too. And also, I want to come back to that series for just a moment because we were asking ourselves, hey, who had the faster series? Was it Dignitas going up against Leftovers in the best of 5, or was it actually the Team Liquid series? And thanks to one of the Twitter users following the stream, big shout out to Lerhond, he actually tweeted at us and told us that the series between Team Dignitas and Leftovers lasted 35 minutes, couple of seconds, and the last one that we just saw with Method having a very good run against Team Liquid lasted 39 minutes and a few seconds. So a 4-minute difference here. Still Dignitas with the fastest series in Europe here.
Still quick matches, and let's take a quick look at the schedule here. As we just witnessed Schwimpy and crew dominate Method with a 3-0 over Team Liquid. Check out that match if you want to see some Kerrigan gameplay. Diamond Skin and Fnatic will be up next, but later on, Space Station Gaming facing off against Tempo Storm with Heroes Heart and Team 12, ending the day.
So two North America matches coming in too. And yeah, North America had some really cool games all the way up at the top as well. Tempo Storm was interesting, especially when they played against Freedom. They fell. Freedom actually doing extremely well in North America at this point. So the big three right now, Tempo Storm, Team Freedom, and also, obviously, Team 12. So that is something where we already get a bit of an idea who might go to the Western Clash.
Oh, yep. North America looking great, but let's continue to look at EU as we check in with the teams as we prepare for the match.
We prepared a lot for Fnatic this week. Like, we try to get as much scrims as possible. We try to adapt a little bit to the meta as well. Like, as Fnatic shown last week, they are beatable. Like, they lost to Zealots 3-2. The loss of Wubby especially made them a lot weaker. I think if we draft well, it will be rather close. And I expect this will not be a 3-0 in either ways.
I think it's really hard to power rank Diamond Skin. They have a really new roster. They took in Robadoba from ANC and they took up Roskmek from Hero League, and yeah, they haven't just had that much time in general as a roster. So I think you just have to make sure you don't underestimate them, because I think they have, pretty good players in general, and so yeah, it's a bit scary. Like, I think they have potential, but in the end we will see, like, either they upset and then break top 4, or they probably stay in the bottom with Leftovers.
Roskmek, the newcomer here for Diamond Skin, had a stellar defense last week when he played the Hanzo, dropping in the Dragon Zero. Been watching him a lot recently on actually other streams of European players. He seems to always be in Hero League, just grinding out, becoming better and better. Today I got to see him play some Chromie this morning as Bakery was streaming some matches, and he was a delight to watch. So we'll keep an eye on Roskmek.
Yeah, we definitely will. And also, of course, on how that preparation that Wolfshow was speaking about, how that is going to show itself in the games, maybe in the draft, maybe in the map choices that they have against Fnatic, because they could definitely use a bit of an upper hand here, a bit of an ace up their sleeves when they're going up against an opponent who just seemed to be getting stronger and stronger as the weeks continued.
We'll see if one of those aces could be a Battleground, as it's time to choose our Battleground here. Game number 1. Diamond Skin picking up Tomb of Spider Queen, Volskaya Fandry banned out, as well as Dragon Shire.
So the bans don't shock too much. Fnatic is very consistent in banning out Dragon Shire, and so is Diamond Skin when it comes to banning out Volskaya. The map pick, on the other hand, from Diamond Skin is interesting, since it is a map pick that we have seen several times coming through for Fnatic now. Fnatic actually in the game so far has picked Tomb 3 times. So your first thought when you hear that would be, why would they bring Fnatic to a map that they like to play? But the problem that Fnatic has is that they played Tomb 4 times and they lost 2 of these games, and that is more than they lost on any other map. The only other map where they suffered a loss are Infernal, where they're currently sitting at a 3-1 record, and Sky Temple, where they only played a single game. So you don't really know how strong they are on Sky. Fnatic has always had the reputation of being strong on Sky Temple, even though that was back then with Mubi. So from Diamond Skin's perspective, this is the best map to take Fnatic to, because they seem to struggle a bit more than they themselves maybe realize. And on most of the other maps, Fnatic has an insane track record, being 4-0 in Battlefield of Eternity, for example, 3-1 on Infernal Shrines, or 2-0 on Towers. So Diamond Skin already putting a bit of preparation work in here, and probably has practiced this map in particular, so that they can take Fnatic down. And if they get a win on the first map, that would already give them a bit of momentum for the rest of the series.
Yeah, we'll see if 2 months better going to pay off here for Diamond Skin. They did play against Team Liquid, but they lost in that setup, playing a Greymane, Malfurion, Blaze, Johanna, and Junkrat combo. That was the Junkrat where Darkmok was very scary on the hero, getting some really good damage in, but sadly just couldn't get it through with a boss throw that happened.
You know, you've been talking about Blaze right now, and Blaze is a hero that we could see not only in this map but also in the series.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing about Blaze is that he was at the beginning mainly played by Trick, but by now basically, well, not every team, but most of the teams in Europe have started to play Blaze. And if you actually look at how much Blaze is involved in games, ever since he got introduced to the Nexus and to the hero pool, he has shown up in 46% of the games. So either as a pick or a ban, at least in Europe. Other regions have not seen that much of a focus on him, but in Europe in particular, we see him now as a main tank. We still see him as that strong solo laner. So he had a huge impact coming into the game.
And a lot of it's kind of been shown how hard it is to kill him, especially put 16 with the Juggernaut plating. So many times we've had teams try to focus down that Blaze, because he is actually a bit squishy. He has a nice health pool, but he has no extra armor set up like a lot of teams unless you use that bunker. And so he has been someone that has been able to survive pretty well in the wave clear, something that you just cannot ignore. And speaking of not ignoring, Malfurion gets picked up for Fnatic, as we'll have those roots coming in from Spexy once again.
Yeah, Malfurion is one of the go-to heroes for Fnatic on the map. Was always a strong hero on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Even before the rework, Malfurion was a preferred choice for the map, thanks to him zoning with the roots, having the interrupt potential with Moonfire, and also some added wave players. So once again, Fnatic goes straight for him. And it always allows for that Tracer combo, but that's something that Diamond Skin is very well aware of, and they pick therefore Tracer away. And they also steal Gul'dan. So 2 heroes that are really strong here, but it gives Fnatic a few options to respond, and Fnatic of course has already taken part of that combo that is so common these days, with Tracer usually getting supported by Malfurion. One of the few games where there was an exception was actually the series that we saw before, where on Towers of Doom we saw Method playing Tracer with Lucio as a solo heal.
I think it's pretty official now. The meta is evolving here in Europe now. Tracer, Gul'dan picked up, Hanzo making it all the way down here to the 3rd and 4th slot. Still pickable, obviously, one that we can see here from Fnatic. Fnatic actually hasn't been dabbling in the Hanzo as much, if I remember correctly, compared to most teams, but still, the option's up and available, and Tracer has become the new show this weekend, as she has been in a majority of our games.
Yeah, and you've been talking about Hanzo on Fnatic's side, and you're not wrong with it. Fnatic is the team that has played Hanzo twice. They have not lost a game with him, so both of the games were won. Dignitas, for example, is in the very same boat. They have only played 2 Hanzo games, they won the 2 of them, and it's most of the other teams that have played Hanzo a lot. Strict Esports, for example, 11 times, or when we look at Zealots, 12 games played with Hanzo. They in particular really love to play the Hanzo double support.
So we got Tyrael and Hanzo Malfurion for Fnatic now as a lock-in the Tyrael. Tracer needs to be thinking about anything that she's afraid to face off against. Greymane is available and pickable for Tyrael, so Diamond Skin could elect to go ahead and ban out the Greymane just to make sure they can stay away from that go for the throat, unless they have some options to peel him off.
Yeah, so when we talk about Tyrael, in case that you just tuned in, I talked about Tyrael in our previous series, but I want to highlight again since this is the first weekend where he is accessible with the new rework. And ever since he got reworked, his participation rate, his involvement rate skyrocketed absolutely. Before the rework, Tyrael was played in 36% of the games globally. After the rework, his involvement rate is at 80%. In NA, it goes as far as him being picked or banned in every single game. They're currently sitting at 100% involvement rate of Tyrael after the rework in North America, whereas in Europe and in Korea, we're seeing him at 77%. So a massive, massive spike in popularity for Tyrael after he just received his new talents, and he is impacting the meta a lot.
He's more popular than that song from Wicked. He is just everywhere right now. Malthael being banned out from Diamond Skin, alluding to them falling into double tanks later on here to protect their Gul'dan and the Tracer and get the hard engages. But something that we've been seeing a lot from a lot of teams is that Malthael getting mixed in. He's one of those heroes now that kind of just floats under the radar, but if you let him go against a perfect composition, he will destroy. So Diamond Skin trying to make sure they prevent him from being effective here on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
You know, it comes to the ban for Fnatic, so they could target the front line, but they can also target supports in this case. Uther is a support that they could just try and get rid of. There's Rhaegar to consider as well, trying to see if you remove something that can help Tracer to survive here. They themselves already have a really solid setup, but right now this is basically one of those bans. Okay, even going for a Tacita ban just because they want to make sure that there's no double support Tracer.
Nothing to set up that Tracer to be strong on. And when you think about it, it's probably going to be Darkmok on that Tracer, so you don't want him to be in a spot where he's getting supported to be able to be aggressive. Blaze and Diablo coming in. Fire from both.
Yeah, we talked about Blaze, and he is back again, and not as the main tank this time, but still for that solo lane. But once more, it shows how popular he is. And to give you an idea of how popular he is for Diamond Skin, this is the third time that they played the hero, but they haven't won any games with him yet. They still believe in his prowess and believe in him on the solo lane. Fnatic has traditionally played really a lot of Leoric on this map when it came to the solo lane. They have a few more options. We have seen Yahakas in this setup. They can still go for Leoric, of course, especially now that we have Malthael banned out. But it hasn't really given them as much success as you would think.
Diamond Skin going for a full flame comp. Diablo, Blaze, Gul'dan with the Fell Flames. Tracer flames her teammates when they're losing. This is amazing. If they get Alex Raza for the 5th pick...
Is that a toxic combination?
It's a toxic combination right there.
Especially with Gul'dan, all that fell. It's too much.
Skin. They have cracked the code. 4th and 5th pick coming in here for Fnatic.
We had a full Diablo comp yesterday in North America.
Did we really?
Yeah, we did.
I missed that game. Wow.
I don't know who won it because
clever.
it was just as we moved back, but yeah.
Fnatic takes away the KT so they can't have full flames, even without a support. Very smart drafting.
It makes so much sense now.
ETC and KT coming in. Gonna need a support here for Diamond Skin. I wouldn't mind Lucio here. Great with Blaze and Diablo. I mean, there's still Rhaegar. Rhaegar's much better when you need that cleanse against an ETC.
Yeah, I would probably lean more towards Rhaegar than Lucio with the setup that they run here.
Yeah, I mean, Uther's still floating around too, but...
Especially since sometimes you might be a bit weary about the Malthael talent on 7, but usually when Smexy plays the hero, he really wants to go for deep roots to just have more zoning in. He doesn't normally try and negate the healing on Ancestral with his roots on 7 there, so... Slipping the name of the talent right now.
We'll figure it out when we go.
It's not Tenacious Roots, it's...
You're pointing at me like I play Malfurion.
I'm drawing a blank here, like, I'm actually annoyed by this.
Don't worry, we know that you know it deep down. It's Rhaegar. Dang. Missed an opportunity, but still, Rhaegar comes in.
Strangling Minds, there we go.
There you
Jeez,
go.
That took me ages. So
Nailed
yeah,
it.
The Strangling Minds is one of the things that can be great if you hit it perfectly against Rhaegar, but we don't see it as much as you would think. So for now, they don't really have a problem playing Rhaegar here. And as we said, Nexi usually doesn't adapt in that situation. He looks at it and says, yeah, if I hit the perfect route against Rhaegar, just against the target, just as they try to do it, it's fantastic. But I get way more value out of the zoning when I throw the roots out and try to zone off a retreat path or try to protect my team when the opponent moves in, maybe even create the space that we need to just buy a little bit more time for a turn-in to be completed. So deep roots is usually Smexy's go-to.
On the other side too, Rhaegar's just getting much better at not getting hit by that. They'll make sure to drop the Ancestral Healing first, make sure they're not going to be getting landed on that healing, as well make sure their teammates aren't even being picked off so they can make sure to land the perfect Ancestral Healing. So with that being said, talent maybe not coming in. We'll see if Smexy can change it up as we go throughout the map, but in terms of drafts, we got a heavy front line here for Diamond Skin with a Tracer that can poke around. Will she be able to get her kills?
Well, Fnatic has currently taken with the last double pick quite a lot of CC in addition to Malfurion himself. So we now have Roots, we have Twilight Dream, we have the Power Slide, and also the follow-up of Menace Gravitational Lamps against Tracer. And that can be scary because the last time when we saw Mena play the hero, he locked down Genji in every single time Genji tried to be mobile and tried to dance in, he got locked down. And I feel this is what Mena is again looking to do. So if he pulls that off, then Tracer is in trouble.
Well, here we go. Game number 1, Diamond Skin taking on Fnatic. And looking into the team here, Wolf Joe will be playing Rhaegar, Darkmok on Tracer, Nande playing Blaze, Rosmeg on Gul'dan, and Robadoba playing Diablo.
And to the right side of the map, the boy band has lost a bit of hair since Mena joined, but they are still looking good in these games. Smexy on Malfuria now, we have Quatnix on Hanzo, Mena on Kel'Thuz, Breeze on ETC, and Bad Benny on Tyrael.
You can have a bald guy in a boy band.
Oh, I agree.
It brings edginess in, you know?
I know.
I know. You are edgy, Caldor. You are edgy.
Hey, take that back.
No, that's not being taken back. Automatic trade-off here in the middle. Rosmeg getting a nice little poke. Quatnix steps up, but nothing too heavy for our teams. If any engages happen, it'll be on this guy in the blue right here. Robadoba. Diablo will be the ones to force these fights and have a Blaze follow-up.
You love saying that name, don't you?
I do that. I love it, man. I think it was Dread who started singing like that. Now I just can't get it out of my head. Robadoba.
It is a fun name for sure. The rotations have started and Mena immediately, of course, trying to put his wave clear to some good use and help his team to rotate. And the control of the first turning point goes to them. They control currently the top quite nicely, and they have driven a wedge between the parts of Diamond Skin that are trying to control the top and the mid lane. So good job by them already. And very aggressive stance here, so they are trying to make it a bit harder for Wolfjoe to actually rotate here. Breeze the entire time just threatening a power slide, and as long as Mena is around for the follow-up, and of course Mexia as well, it's dangerous for him to be too far out here.
You know, especially with Diablo being at half health from taking poker early on, has to play safe until Wolfjoe finally tapped him off, so now he can go back into laning. The bottom lane is the question mark for me here, as we have Nande and Darkmok working together to try and bully out that Tyrael.
This is, by the way, the first time that we see Diamond Skin play Tracer. They have never played Tracer before in the league, and they have played 11 games so far. So now we're seeing them with the new hero. But there's the move that we talked about earlier. The root not hitting home, though, coming in a bit too late. But once again, Mena with the Graviton Lapse. But not quite able to get the kill against Wolfjoe. Still forcing him back, and the same is also true for Diablo.
Oh.
Well, that's a dead Tracer here right away. Mena taking Darkmok down.
Fnatic made that look easy. First off, Breeze landed the power slide, but Quatnix sidestepping the pulse bomb, moving into enemy territory to make sure he wouldn't get harassed, and followed up straight into the Stormbow, into an auto attack, insta-kill on Tracer, and you can see why Hanzo, if in a one-on-one scenario and doesn't have the pulse bomb, can actually do kind of decently against Tracer.
By the way, Kel'Thuz has not been played by any other team. Fnatic is the only team so far that has played Kel'Thuz in Europe, and they are undefeated with him.
I mean,
Every time, yeah, it's his hero. Every single time they play Kel'Thuz, they win. 3-0 so far. Let's see if Diamond Skin can break that win streak. So far, we have Fnatic in slightly, but the kill gave them a bit of an edge, but it's not too much just yet. So Diamond Skin still has all the options here, but of course it's always that danger of getting snowballed in the early game.
Yeah, it's mostly that turn-in. They were able to drop off 20 gems, which is a nice foothold into getting to the spot where you eventually have the Web Weavers coming your way. Fnatic is aware that Diamond Skin has disappeared. There's only two places they could be: Mercenary Camp or the place where they revealed themselves on the bottom. And they come straight in for the engage. Power slide misses and Nande tries to hold the point.
Yeah, but everybody is coming down here. Only Gul'dan is missing. That's a problem more so for Diamond Skin than anybody else, but it's Kel'Thuz who dies first. The fight should still go in Fnatic's favor if they're able to push them back here, and they're trying to counter kill on Blaze. They get him. Breeze in a bit of trouble, but not too much. And here's that deep root that we talked about earlier, making sure that Diablo does not get away, so he goes down. Kel'Thuz dies, but they get a double kill out of it, and they steal the camp.
Steal the Giants. That was just a number advantage at that point, as even KT falling down, no Gul'dan to show up and help out in the fight, allowed for Diamond Skin to eventually get beaten now as Fnatic wins that trade with Hanzo working in those auto attacks, finishing up the redemption. And now they'll be able to open up the turret wall, which is pivotal for getting a fort later on with the Web Weavers.
Yeah, but Benny trying to also turn his gems in. Mena is still pushing that wave out. That will force Rosmeg to the top. He has to make sure that he is in experience range, so that gives Bad Benny the opportunity to turn in. Quatnix under pressure at the bot lane, but the rest of the team helps him out, and Tracer falls very low already, and then gets taken out by minions.
Those Giants, man.
That's one of those things where you always hope that the observer didn't catch it.
Yeah, we didn't see it. It's cool, man. Don't worry about it.
Nobody saw it.
It happens, dude. It's to the best of us.
We saw that the other day, I think, in North America, where also like a couple of boss stunts just delivered kills. When that happens, it's just one of those moments where like, oh my god, uninstall. It's just brutal. But again, it happens.
It happens. It's life, you know? You're looking at the map, trying to figure out where you want to go. Are you safe? Oh, wait a minute. Giant connected. Anywho, as we move forward, Web Weaver turn in here for Fnatic. Web Weaver's top, middle, and bottom. Bottom lane is the source of the major defense for Diamond Skins. They put Tracer down there, realizing that that wall is already opened up. They have to be careful not to lose too much, so they do what they can to defend, and it's on Fnatic to find where they want to break open the map.
Yeah, and Fnatic is already ahead at this point. Again, here comes the quick power slide into the roots, and that really takes a huge chunk of the hit points of Robadoba away. Now, of course, Diablo excels on this map thanks to the Globe talent. It's just so absolutely amazing when you can rely on Devil's Due as a level 1 talent on a map where quick rotations are possible between the lanes and you are more or less guaranteed to always pick up a regeneration globe. He's going to be back at full health once again in just a few seconds. So it's definitely going to be difficult for Fnatic to take him down later when he's at full stack with his souls. But they are already trying to put additional pressure onto Nande instead here down at the bot lane, where Bad Benny is attempting to chase him, but it looks like Blaze is going to get away here.
Just barely, but the experience lead for Fnatic is very apparent. They're about a half level away from getting to 10 themselves. Not enough for a second turn in, but they got to make sure that Diamond Skin doesn't take this opportunity to try and get their own turn in.
Now, we talked also, of course, about a few of the heroes and the success rate. Main in particular and Kalthas always having a huge impact for Fnatic. But the same is also true for Tyrael. Fnatic has played 4 games with Tyrael. And by the way, most of those are before the rework. And since then, of course, Tyrael became even stronger. And they are 4-0 with the hero. So they haven't lost with Tyrael yet. Benny jumping out of that gank, able to survive. That in itself is already impressive.
Peeling back to his team. HGC there to catch him with his arms in a loving manner, keeping Tyrael alive.
That was a really cool attempt by Diamond Skin to get a kill before level 10. Yep. If they get that kill, they have a much better chance of either getting a turn in themselves or at least interrupting a potential second turn in of Fnatic. But with Tyrael surviving, they're now in a really decent spot here.
Hanzo still not picking his heroic yet. Quacknick's thinking about being cheeky. I would assume no. There it is. The Dragon's Arrow does come online.
Swift Retribution, by the way, taken on level 7. Now, we've been talking a lot about the level 7 talent on Tyrael, and you can adapt it to the situation and team composition. And for now, it's more about Hanzo trying to work a few more auto attacks in these situations. So, besides that, we have the heroics in play. Diamond Skin has access to their own level 10s by now, and Fnatic is willing to take the fight here. They're currently looking to get a second turn in, but here comes the engage. Robadoba moves in. Mane is immediately ready with the Graviton Lapse, and Smexy also with the roots on the ground.
Stopping Diablo straight in the tracks. Mercenary Camp still pushing in the middle. Darkmock putting some damage on Bad Benny, having post bomb up pretty soon for his team. And now it's all about Robadoba. Can he get the engage he wants? Fnatic a little bit more reactive here with the ETC, the Mount Furion, and the KT, making it difficult for him to get in.
One of the best things about Hanzo, and I feel we really don't mention it enough, is the vision aspect.
Yeah.
Having vision on a map like this is so good. On any map, actually. It's one of the main reasons why Tassadar was oftentimes so highly prioritized on the map, not only because of his shields and his ability to help out any kind of major damage dealer and auto attacker, but also because he granted vision over the turn-in spots. And that is something that Hanzo can deliver here as well, where you always know what's going on, you can scout out rotations of your opponent, and you see very quickly if someone is headed your way. But Diamond Skin still could turn in at the top there. 45 gems turned in, so they could complete it with Roskmak trying to do that, and he gets interrupted in the last second.
Just barely there. Breeze power slide on Diablo. Diablo staying alive, and Roskmak finally gets that turn in that you were asking for. Quacknix goes in with the Dragon's Arrow, thinking about engaging, but deciding against it with Diablo holding that front line. Yeah,
in an ideal world, Fnatic would, of course, have tried to get the double turn in, but the interrupt didn't work out, didn't want to engage too hard here. Now we have on the other side Breeze capturing Robadoba, and the Ancestral keeps him alive. Horrify also being used on the side of Gul'danas. They are trying to go for Bad Benny, and he's already low, but he drops his sanctification just in time as they are dropping Diablo. Breeze with a mosh pit as well. The bunker saving Nande for now, but the body blocks are still there. Breeze not ready for another power slide, but they get the kill. Diablo on the way back, but of course now without his soul stacks.
Fnatic was in a spot where they could maybe get another kill on Nande, but decided against it as they have to come back and defend against the push coming in from Diamond Skin. But the Rosmek's still alive though. Diamond Skin's alright with the ability to go ahead and continue pushing as Diablo comes back in.
At the bot lane, they're trying to pressure through. We already have Bad Benny in position with Mena and Smexy on Kalthas and Malfurion. Still delivering the damage here, but Diamond Skin has definitely tasted blood in the waters and is starting to not only go through the towers in the middle of the map, but also eliminating the fort at the bottom, picking up more experience and not only closing the experience gap, but also getting ahead and aiming for level 13.
Level 13 coming up for them will make it easier for them to defend. They also have their other turn-in, as you were mentioning. Diamond Skin, will they be able to sneak their way in? Have to be a bit careful with Breeze controlling the front line. Breeze having 31 gems on him. Definitely wants to drop that off soon.
And they're still looking for a potential kill here even. So right now, turn-ins are starting. Nande is immediately in trouble. And here comes the setup, but he goes straight for the bunker. Already low, Breeze on the way back. So the ult already used. Robadoba goes in, goes deep, is able to get the extra armor by simply jumping into the bunker here. But they need to be a bit cautious. It just shows again how quick Fnatic is to pull all of their CCs to lock a target down. And they're doing it against Rosmak, and he is dead. Gul'dan is down.
Gul'dan has fallen, and that's going to be a pickup. Fnatic looking for a little bit more on Robadoba. He's able to sneak on out. The wave clear coming out, and now finally Fnatic can drop off a few of those gems. 31 going in for Breeze. They need 5 more to get their turn in and start pushing out their waves, join in with the web weavers, and already doing it. Cheerios on the top to prep that lane perfectly for that fort.
Yeah, right now things are looking great for Fnatic. At the bot lane, again, they're still going for the deep push. Mene is very close to also... Actually, Mene completed his quest already. Breeze is the one that still needs a few more globes, and he's getting closer and closer to complete that as well. And once that we are seeing him with Proc Rock completed, that is, of course, also going to be a huge benefit for the rest of the team. Their power spikes are just super scary, and this is a moment where they want to take down forts.
The top one should be an easy one for them to get. They already have Tracer defending it. The middle is the main target for Fnatic, as they have put 4 in this area. And they'll go ahead and start breaking it down where they can. Mane doing his best here to clear out the minion waves. But the Web Weaver actually gets tracked onto the Moonwell. There we go. Finally, Bad Bunny goes in. He's actually trying to chase down Darkmok. Shouldn't be able to get that kill, but at least gets an opening to get the fort. Yeah,
he zones him out here, and that allows the Web Weavers to get the fort. They already deleted the one in the middle of the map. And now the rotation is heading top lane to take this one down as well. So the defense on the side of Diamond Skin so far is good. Oh! What an arrow! Quacknix goes in and gets the ult in, and then it's just one more auto attack that drops Tracer, and that immediately triggers a rotation to the top to make a play for the boss.
I mean, that just features the weakness of a Tracer, right?
Yeah.
You get caught, you're dead. One Dragon's Arrow into one auto attack. And Hanzo was able to clean her up because she had taken a little bit of damage from Bad Benny earlier. And Fnatic, where they kill, instantly turns around and grabs the boss. They have a 3rd turn-in available. They can make big strides here.
Yeah, they are definitely doing some work at this point. Really well done getting the boss, and now of course there's... This is again this trade-off situation where you know that your opponent is about to turn in, but you trade a turn in for the boss. But it looks as if Diamond Skin isn't even able to complete this one, and that's a problem because level 16 talents are now ready for Fnatic. So if they can shut down the turn-in and push with the boss at the same time, they might even get kills that allow them to take gems away from their opponent. So this is a very tough spot for Diamond Skin to be in.
And it is. We'll see if they can defend. A full level being behind hurts a little bit here.
It's always a question of what do you get from your turn-in. Sometimes you would argue, okay, a turn-in is more or less, let's say, wasted if your opponent gets the boss at the same time, but it also allows you to defend against the boss. Right now, Diamond Skin doesn't get that. If they can hold on to all of the gems and they defend for not free for now, but they are able to keep their keep alive and then get maybe a double turn-in, that would really help them. But they have to make that happen first, and that is going to be the big problem. Once again, bunker for the zoning. The keep is on half HP. but they are still able to hold on to it, so that's a plus. If they can now get 16 and can turn in, that would be great. Their biggest problem, on the other hand, is that Fnatic has enough gems to get another turn in themselves.
And Smexy gets the root just to make sure to zone out anyone from coming in, and Fnatic will get that turn in that you were talking about. So there we go. They did use an arrow on the top keep. They were trying to force a fight, missed out. It'll be back here on 35.
Fnatic should just simply, I wouldn't even rotate bot at this point. You could just simply stay in the mid or at the top lane and, okay. Kel'Thas rotates down, drops a couple of flame strikes, and he will rotate back. And that's really something that I like a lot more, because the bottom fort is gonna fall either way. And Mena just makes sure that this is happening 100% by dropping a quick flame strike, and then he rotates back up. But if you now put the pressure into the mid or top lane, you have a good chance of taking a keep down, and you will get the fort at the bot lane as a plus.
We'll watch and see how that unfolds. The Web Weaver in the top is in the middle side, so Diamond Skin actually has a bit of an easier defense as the layered aggression is coming their way. Chunking this out pretty quickly. Fnatic has no follow-up really, but they get the tribute, or the turret, so that's good. A little bit of experience. And have one more still standing they can pick off later, and they finally join up with the Web Weaver you're talking about. And this is where they want to make that play for that keep.
Yeah, they're trying to get the keep at the top, and the Web Weaver at the bot lane is still doing work and will drop some of these towers. But as long as Fnatic can take the top keep, that would be great for them. But already a decent defense from Diamond Skin. The bunker is being used to just zone out the entire attack, and it works for them. Fnatic still... Fnatic still takes the experience and is also getting another structure at the bot lane. But with Tracer showing up at the bottom of the map, Fnatic immediately moves in again and just says, Mena, once the cooldown is ready, just poke the fort down a bit, or the keep down a bit, and let's see if we can get it after all.
Phoenix even put down to make it a little bit harder for Diamond Skin to come in and defend / force a fight if they were wanting to. Rosmag's on the side.
Yeah, you can see that Nanda and Wolfjaw are actually staying in the Phoenix to make sure that he doesn't target the structure instead. Apocalypse is being used, but gets very little value. And we have a quick Ancestral thrown out, as Diablo was, as a result, in a lot of trouble here. But very important that someone stayed in the Phoenix circle, because the Phoenix targets or prioritizes heroes over structures. Mena now in trouble, gets the shield in. Well played by him. Sanctification is now being used. The bunker again on the ground, but this time they're taking it down, and Breeze follows it up with a quick mosh pit, and Robadova goes down. Diablo is dead. Wolfjaw in trouble. Nanda moving in with a great jet propulsion, targeting 3 here, but they need to somehow get away from this, and Smexy is already looking to root them into the ground once again.
That flame strike was just devastating for the bunker, shredding its health bar, and the second one hitting the heroes inside. Is how Diablo wound up falling. Good layered aggression from Fnatic, but better Diamond Skin being able to defend well, using that bunker to get out of the fight. They'll have Diablo up in about 15 seconds. Their main concern is whether or not they can save their keep.
Yeah, and once again, Mena just throws the Phoenix out, and this time they just give it up. They move out of the way. Phoenix is starting to target the structures, and the minions do the rest. Keep at the top lane is gone. Fnatic is on level 19 versus 17, so they're 2 levels ahead. They have 8 kills against 1, and they find themselves in a commanding lead in this first game of the series. Diamond Skin still holding on to a fair amount of gems. If they can turn in now, then maybe they can close the gap a bit, but even with the turn in, they have to face the reality that Fnatic is going to hit the Storm talents faster and will have a time window where they can play around that talent lead.
And Breeze is buying time to make sure they don't get that turn in a little bit too quickly, so Fnatic can get another wave or two before the turn in does occur. Robadova gets poked, Wolfjaw dropping off the 27 gems, and there she is. Webweaver's coming in. Half a level for 20 for Fnatic, but defense should be relatively easy for them, especially with them prepping the Merc camp at the middle lane. Yeah,
getting the Merc camp so that it pushes just inside their own fort range makes it very easy for them to defend here, so they can stay a bit safer. Robadova is setting himself up for a possible flank, but keep in mind that he just died. He has very little souls right now, so his hit point pool is rather low in comparison, and Fnatic is closing in on 20, but that alone forces the hand of Diamond Skin. It forces them to be a bit more aggressive. The problem for them really, they are so far behind. 20 versus 18 right now, and it's bad, especially with Flamethrower now chosen for Kel'Thas. He has even more distance to the action, which makes it super hard for anybody, being a Tracer or Diablo, to get close enough to him.
Yeah, this defense is a little bit too easy for Fnatic. They actually go for a fight. Rothman will get hit, and the instant clip from Wolfjaw keeps him alive, hopefully for now, but Moshpit says nope. He gets hit here with the APOC, as well as the APOC tries to stop everyone on the side of Fnatic, but it's not enough. Robadova charges forward, jumps on Mana. Mana survives, trying to kite away, low on health. but still able to come on in as Tracer gets picked off.
Tracer is down, Gul'dan is dead, and now Quacknix is on the chase, trying to move in against Wolfjaw and Nande. Not able to take them on, but we have now a 5 versus 3 scenario as Mene has not fallen throughout all of this. Thanks to the Mana Addict and also thanks to Smexy, he still stayed alive, and Fnatic isn't even bothering with the keep. They're just saying, boys, let's go straight for core here. The top lane is open, and we have the opportunity to end the game right here, so let's do exactly that. Then realize that it's maybe a bit too much asked for, and then they move back.
Just a prank. Fnatic pulls away, a full level away for Diamond Skin to get 20. They're going to get boss instead.
Yeah, they're going for the boss, but they wasted some time. I don't think that necessarily makes a difference now, but still, that was some time wasted.
There's the cleanse into the mosh pit. The APOC came out to stop ETC, but it was not available because of sanctification. So Breeze got the full duration of the mosh pit. Tried to make up for it by diving on Mane. It didn't work out. Fnatic continues to set up for their deadly push of full web weavers going in and a boss.
It doesn't really make a difference that Fnatic was a bit hesitant with this. I would have laughed so hard if Tracer just ran into the pit, stole the boss as they all tried to turn in. Nobody guarding it.
It would have been a giggle moment, that's for sure. Well,
to be honest, Tracer can't make that play because they don't have the vision. We see that, they don't know.
Yeah.
So that's fine. But yeah, now they have the boss and the 20.
Diamond Skin has a hard defense. They have to defend the boss, level 20s, 5 heroes, and web weavers coming in. They are 19 and a quarter in experience. Defense for them would be a miracle.
Yeah, that would be absolutely crazy if they can pull that off. But they're going to try. Here comes the APOC already. Gets a few good stuns in. Mene is a bit far out here, but Nande is also starting to get low. Can still drop the bunker. Here's the mosh pit once again, and Kel'Thas just rips Gul'dan to shreds. Down goes Diablo, a double kill for Fnatic once again. Diablo has the souls, he will be back, but Blaze will not. He dies, and so does the core of Diamond Skin as Fnatic takes the first game in the best of 5 series here at the HGC.
Angry Fnatic continues to show up this weekend. Another large win as they're able to take out Diamond Skin in the first match here of the best of 5 series. Fnatic just looking a little bit more clean every single week that we've seen them from week 1, and so far they seem to be really well-oiled machine as they have finally found their momentum.
Yeah, they're also finding their playstyle a lot more.
Yeah.
They're currently 5-0 with Tyrael, they're 4-0 with Kel'Thas, they're 6-0 with Arthas. They are still, with a lot of the heroes they play here, undefeated. It's not quite on the same level of Dignitas, who haven't even lost a map yet, but Fnatic is playing pretty solid. This was the 12th map win that they had, and they lost 4 maps only so far in 2018.
I think a part of it, too, is the major adjustment where they've put Bad Bunny on heroes that he was used to playing, like the Stitches, the Leoric now, the Tyrael that we've just seen. Being able to have those off tanks that are actually main tanks at the same time have been really impactful for him. He's being able to be a little bit more clean with the team. Landing that certification to make sure that mosh pit didn't get interrupted was huge for them to go ahead and end the game. In fact, let's go ahead and look at that replay one more time just so you guys can see the coordination that came off here for Fnatic. So the arrow to open up goes straight to Gul'dan.
Yeah, that was well done here, and also from Wolfjaw cleansing that out, but then Breeze is just ready. He darts in immediately, even using the Bolt of the Storm. Mene follows it up immediately. The APOC, as he said, negated by the Sanctification, and just a bit too late on Rhaegar's Ancestral, but at that point, Fnatic just started bodying everybody. Mene was really low and close to dying. His shield for Mana Addict kept him alive for long, and Smexy did his best to keep him out there. But that was just a rough moment for Diamond Skin. They just lost way too much ground early on.
Showing the true power of Mana Addict, man. Just being able to live through a Pulse Bomb is a strong pickup there for a Kel'Thas. And Mene